In a time when the earth was reshaped by the Great Flood, three sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, set forth to rebuild humanity. Among their descendants lies a story veiled in mystery, connecting the Filipinos to ancient lands. This tale begins with Shem, whose lineage spanned across Asia, forging civilizations rooted in exploration and resilience. The Philippines, an archipelago bathed in myths, emerges as a land where the ancient meets the divine. Shem's descendants ventured far, their journeys fueled by courage and ambition. Among them were the Austronesians, master seafarers who braved the vast Pacific. Around 2000 BC, they reached the Philippines, bringing not only life, but also the seeds of a vibrant culture that would thrive for millennia. Enjoying the story? Like, subscribe, and share to support us. Let's continue. Ancient texts, revered by millions, hold cryptic hints about the origins of many peoples. One such mystery surrounds the biblical land of Ophir. Could it have been the Philippines? This land, rich in gold and ivory, mirrors the descriptions in the Old Testament, sparking debates among scholars. The story of Ophir intertwines with King Solomon's fleet, which journeyed to distant lands for treasures. Gold, apes, and peacocks brought back to Jerusalem are items reminiscent of Southeast Asia, further fueling the connection to the Philippine archipelago. The lost tribes of Israel offer another thread in this intricate tapestry. After their dispersion, some speculate they traveled far, even reaching Southeast Asia. Could their enduring spirit have left imprints on the Filipino lineage? Modern genetic research reveals surprising connections that link the Filipino people to ancient civilizations. Studies of mitochondrial DNA in indigenous Filipino groups show a diverse genetic makeup, tracing ancestry to Austronesian settlers, East Asian communities, and even populations from South Asia and the Middle East. Among the most striking discoveries are genetic markers that suggest ancient ties to the Arabian Peninsula. These markers could indicate interactions with Middle Eastern traders who reached the Philippine Islands via the maritime Silk Road. Such findings highlight the Philippines as a dynamic crossroads where migration, trade, and cultural exchange occurred for centuries. The genetic evidence aligns with historical accounts of ancient maritime trade routes that span from the Middle East to Southeast Asia. These discoveries reshape our understanding of Filipino ancestry, suggesting that the islands were not isolated but deeply integrated into a global network of ancient civilizations. The Philippines' strategic location along the maritime Silk Road made it a vital hub of trade and cultural exchange. Early traders from China, India, and Arabia frequently visited the islands, bringing goods, ideas, and even genetic diversity. Historical records mention bustling ports like Butuan and Cebu, where traders exchanged silk, spices, gold, and other valuable items. These interactions weren't limited to commerce. Traders brought with them religious beliefs, scientific knowledge, and artistic traditions, which blended with local practices to create a uniquely Filipino culture. The ancient Philippine ports became melting pots where diverse cultures mingled, leaving an indelible mark on the language, art, and traditions of the people. This vibrant exchange positioned the Philippines as a significant player in the ancient world's economic and cultural networks. The Austronesian language family offers additional insights into Filipino origins. Linguistic studies trace the roots of Filipino languages to Proto-Austronesian, spoken in Taiwan over 4,000 years ago. As Austronesians migrated southward, their language evolved, creating a network of related tongues across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Filipino languages, like Tagalog and Visayan, share similarities with those spoken in Indonesia, Madagascar, and Polynesia. Even today, Filipino dialects contain loanwords from Sanskrit, Arabic, and Chinese, reflecting centuries of trade and cultural interaction. These linguistic imprints serve as a living testament to the Philippines' deep integration into ancient trade and migration networks. The shared linguistic heritage among Austronesian-speaking peoples underscores their interconnected history and common ancestry. Archaeological discoveries, such as the Butuan boats, further illustrate the sophistication of early Filipinos. These plank-built vessels, dating back to the 4th century AD, demonstrate advanced maritime engineering and seafaring capabilities. The boats were used for fishing, trading, and long-distance voyages, connecting the Philippines with neighboring regions. The Butuan boats symbolize the ingenuity of early Filipinos who thrived in a world shaped by the sea. Their mastery of maritime technology allowed them to navigate vast oceanic distances, fostering trade and cultural exchange with distant civilizations. This maritime heritage reflects the deep relationship between Filipinos and the ocean, which continues to define their identity today. Filipino mythology also offers a fascinating glimpse into the past. Tales like the creation story of Malachus and Maganda, who emerged from a split bamboo stalk, mirror themes of Genesis in the Bible. These myths highlight humanity's shared search for origins and meaning. Bathala, the supreme deity of pre-colonial Tagalog mythology, is portrayed as the creator of all things, similar to the monotheistic God of Abrahamic religions. Such parallels reflect the universality of creation myths, where humans across cultures strive to explain their beginnings. Filipino mythology's rich symbolism demonstrates how ancient Filipinos sought to understand their world, blending indigenous beliefs with influences from neighboring civilizations. In the southern Philippines, the Sultanate of Sulu rose to prominence as a maritime powerhouse. Established in the 13th century, the Sultanate maintained strong trade ties with China, the Middle East, and even East Africa. Its rulers were not only skilled diplomats, but also guardians of a thriving cultural and economic center. The Sulu archipelago became a hub for the exchange of goods such as pearls, spices, and textiles. The influence of Islamic culture, brought by Arab and Malay traders, profoundly shaped the region, leaving a legacy seen in Sulu's governance, architecture, and traditions. The Sultanate of Sulu stands as a testament to the Philippines' pivotal role in the ancient maritime world. The arrival of Islam in the Philippines during the 14th century marked a significant cultural shift. Arab and Malay traders introduced the religion, which spread rapidly through the southern islands. Islam's influence transformed governance, architecture, and social structures, creating vibrant communities that thrived under the guidance of the Quran. The Philippines became part of a broader Islamic world that extended from the Middle East to Southeast Asia. The harmonious integration of Islamic traditions with indigenous practices highlights the Philippines' ability to absorb and adapt diverse influences, enriching its cultural fabric. Trade between the Philippines and the Muslim world strengthened during the Sultanate of Sulu's peak. These connections facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultural practices. Artifacts discovered in Mindanao and the Sulu region, such as Persian ceramics and Arabian coins, highlight the deep integration of the Philippines into the vast Islamic trade networks. The introduction of Arabic writing systems influenced local scripts, and Islamic art and architecture found their way into Filipino aesthetics. These exchanges enriched the cultural landscape of the Philippines, blending local traditions with Islamic influences in ways that still resonate today. Filipino cuisine evolved through centuries of trade and interaction, becoming a reflection of the island's diverse history. Dishes like adobo, influenced by Spanish techniques, are also rooted in indigenous cooking practices. The use of spices like turmeric and cumin reveals Malay and Indian connections, while coconut milk in Filipino curries speaks to trade links with South Asia. Arab traders brought saffron and other exotic ingredients, blending with native flavors. This culinary fusion is a testament to the Philippines' role as a melting pot of cultures, where food tells the story of its people's rich and varied history. Textiles woven by indigenous Filipinos, particularly in Mindanao, echo influences from India, Persia, and China. The Tanaulic fabric, created by the Taboli people, is one such example. Its intricate patterns symbolize dreams and spiritual connections, but the techniques also reflect knowledge exchanged through ancient trade. These textiles demonstrate how global interactions enriched local artistry, preserving the heritage of Filipino craftsmanship while incorporating elements from other cultures. Each thread tells a story of cultural blending and creativity. Mythology from the southern Philippines intertwines with Islamic folklore. One prominent figure is Raja Indarapatra, a hero whose story includes battles with mythical creatures to protect his people. His tale mirrors the biblical story of David and Goliath, where bravery and divine favor triumph over overwhelming odds. These parallels showcase the blending of indigenous legends with stories brought by Islamic traders, creating a shared narrative tapestry that reflects universal themes of heroism and resilience. The reverence for Anitos, or ancestral spirits, highlights the spiritual connection between Filipinos and their natural environment. Mountains, rivers, and trees are believed to house these spirits, acting as guardians and intermediaries. This belief resonates with the biblical concept of angels, who serve as protectors and messengers. The shared reverence for unseen forces reflects humanity's universal need to find meaning and protection in the world around them. The Laguna copperplate inscription provides a glimpse into the sophistication of pre-colonial Filipino societies. This artifact, dating back to 900 AD, is written in a mix of Sanskrit and Old Malay, revealing trade and cultural connections with neighboring regions. It documents a legal transaction, showcasing an organized system of governance and commerce. This inscription highlights the Philippines' integration into a broader Southeast Asian economy, disproving the notion that its early societies were isolated. The Philippines' role in the maritime Silk Road extended its reach beyond Asia. Traders from as far as East Africa and the Arabian Peninsula brought goods and ideas to the islands. These interactions left traces in Filipino art, language, and even religion. The introduction of Islam, for instance, reshaped the political and cultural landscape of the southern islands, integrating them into a larger Islamic world that spanned continents. Festivals like the ATI Atihan celebrate the blending of indigenous and foreign influences in Filipino culture. Originally honoring local deities, the festival evolved to incorporate Christian elements after Spanish colonization. Dancers paint themselves black and don vibrant costumes, symbolizing the blending of local traditions with colonial influences. Such festivals reflect the adaptability and creativity of the Filipino spirit, transforming challenges into celebrations of unity and resilience. The story of the 10 Datus of Borneo illustrates themes of migration and resilience. According to legend, 10 noble leaders fled oppression in Borneo and sought refuge in the Philippines. Settling in Panay Island, they negotiated with local Itas to establish communities, blending their culture with that of the indigenous people. This story parallels the biblical Exodus, emphasizing the universal human desire for freedom and a better life. The Datus migration is seen as a foundational moment in Filipino history, symbolizing the island's role as a sanctuary for those seeking a new beginning. Filipino oral epics, like the Darangan, preserve ancient values and heroic traditions. The Darangan, a UNESCO-recognized masterpiece of oral heritage, chronicles the adventures of Maranao heroes. Its themes of love, war, and destiny resonate with universal human experiences. The epic's preservation through centuries of oral tradition reflects the resilience of Filipino culture, connecting modern Filipinos to their ancestral past. The Tawi-Tawi Islands exemplify the Philippines' role as a cultural crossroads. Situated near major trade routes, the region saw influences from Malay, Arab, and Persian traders. These interactions shaped the culture of the Tausig people, evident in their music, dance, and religious practices. Tawi-Tawi's history showcases the Philippines' integration into the broader tapestry of the ancient maritime world. The legacy of the Sulu Sultanate's trade diplomacy can be seen in the story of Sultan Paduka Batara. In 1417, he led a royal delegation to China to strengthen ties with the Ming dynasty. The Sultan's untimely death in China led to his burial there, a unique symbol of the Philippines' historical connections with East Asia. His tomb in Shandong province remains a testament to the deep diplomatic ties between the Philippines and China. The arts of the Philippines also bear the marks of ancient trade and cultural exchange. Traditional textiles, pottery, and jewelry often incorporate motifs and techniques from India, Persia, and China. These influences are woven into Filipino traditions, creating a unique artistic identity that celebrates diversity. Such crafts not only serve as functional items, but also as expressions of the Philippines' rich cultural history. Filipino mythology and biblical themes often intersect in profound ways. Stories of creation, migration, and heroism reflect universal values. The creation story of Malachus and Maganda, for example, parallels Adam and Eve, while the tale of Bethala echoes the monotheistic traditions of Abrahamic religions. These connections highlight how Filipino mythology has absorbed and reinterpreted global influences, creating a narrative tapestry that is uniquely its own. The Philippines' vibrant cultural history continues to thrive through festivals, rituals, and traditions. These celebrations draw from indigenous, Islamic, and Christian influences, showcasing the resilience and adaptability of Filipino culture. Events like the Sinulog and Katayawan festivals reflect the enduring connection between Filipinos and their ancestral heritage, celebrating unity and diversity in a way that resonates with the modern world. Advances in archaeology and genetics continually reshape our understanding of Filipino history. Recent findings, such as Middle Eastern genetic markers and ancient trade artifacts, the Philippines' role in the global network of ancient civilizations. These discoveries reveal a history of migration, trade, and cultural exchange that enriches the narrative of Filipino identity. The fusion of indigenous and foreign influences has created a Filipino identity that is both unique and universal. This blend is seen in everything from language and food to art and religion. The Philippines stands as a testament to humanity's interconnectedness, where cultures merge to create something new yet timeless. In conclusion, the origin of Filipinos is a story of resilience, migration, and cultural exchange. From the descendants of Shem to the Austronesian expansion, from the biblical Ophir to the Sultanate of Sulu, the Philippines has been shaped by millennia of interaction with the ancient world. This rich history continues to influence Filipino culture, reminding us of the enduring connections that unite humanity.